wanted to take a minute to talk about some of the reporting and query capability within VicinityView, particularly around quality data. Vicinity has got a tool called VicinityView that allows you to query any data in the system, whether it be quality or production or scheduling or costing or financial. Any data in the system you can see from this view. It functions a lot like Excel in the respect that it's a column and row layout. You can drag around columns and put things wherever you want them to be. You can also restrict columns that you may not want to see. So these are all the columns that I've got expressed in my view. I can remove them. And it updates and refreshes the columns. What I want to talk about here is some of the capability to analyze or look at or filter out some of the data. One of the first things that we can do is identify a particular column that we want to group on. So in this case, I've got a test ID, the actual tests that are being performed. I drag and drop it, it puts it in here and then groups by that test ID. I can also continue that grouping if I wanted to. If I wanted to go and see, say by lot number within test by lot. So if I've retested something, so VB002 as a lot number, I've retested a few times for my extract. Know that any field can be nested within another field for groups within groups within groups. I can also filter out data. So if I only want to see certain data either by a date range or a type of product, any field that I've got, I can create a search criteria or a filter that allows me to come in and say, I only want to see a field that matches a particular condition. So if I'm only interested in tests that have been performed, let's say in 2016, so it'll get rid of these 2015s that I've got here. I can say, let's say is between January 1st, 2015, for example, and 12/31/2015 as an example, and just say close and refresh. And it'll bring up data now that is only expressed in that time period. So I've filtered out my tests and I'm able to see only the data that I'm interested in seeing, in this case only 2015. Any of these groupings can be removed and a search can be added with multiple columns, an unlimited number of columns, and of course you can sort or order by any field that you want to. You can also order by just simply by clicking on the box on the column. I can also simply do my filtering here if I wanted to only see a particular lot as an example, and I could filter that in pretty quickly. So the idea behind this query tool is it gives you really the ability to see data the way you want to see it, to be able to answer a question rather quickly. Now there may be reasons to go further than this and to be able to do some reporting on some of this. So for example, if I've got this grouped by test type and I wanted to go look at the extracts that are saved into that time period, I can actually hit the Excel button. It will push it out to Excel and open up Excel for me, showing me all of that data in the format and the structure that I had it in VicinityView, even opening up the section that I had open in VicinityView. From here, I can do anything I want with this data. I can use pivot charts and various calculations to analyze the data further. Now, some of the things that some other breweries are doing that we're working with are actually building dashboards in Excel to analyze some of the data. They could even take it further and push that up into Power BI. An example of a dashboard I've created rather simply here, analyzing quality data over time across multiple batches. So the blue line is one fermentation log. The yellow line is another fermentation log that appears to be in process. These are the days of fermentation in which I took a reading. Here are the selections that I've got out here. So I'm working off of just one fermentation, so my IPA, in a particular tank. I could have multiple tanks listed here and go see if that has any correlation to my results. The various batches that I've got, I can actually isolate various batches or show them collectively, is what I'm showing here. I can also pick different data points, different tests that I'm wanting to look at. Now, everything that I'm showing here is actually built dynamically using standard Excel functionality. Basically, it's pivot charts with sliders and filters. the idea behind it, the magic behind it, is really in the data tab. This is where all the data is being read from for these results. Now, for those folks that are doing this type of work in Excel, you probably have got the data that you're just keying into Excel, and you can do the same thing I'm talking about. The trick here, however, is that all of this data can be read directly from VicinityBrew. So you can now be entering data being validated into VicinityBrew quality sample entry and record your QC data against those lots, all validating against the lot number, fermentation tank, QC test, all the ranges, etc. This is being read every time I open this Excel spreadsheet. It connects to the database and reads that information in here. So my data is real time. It just allows me to see that data without having to key it in Excel, allow that data to be keyed in an environment that makes more sense. So you've got this type of capability where you could hook up Excel directly to our database. You've also got the ability to look at data in a query tool. So if you want to do just an ad hoc query and see some results, and then push those results out to Excel to do further work. All that is available for you today sitting within VicinityBrew.